Pokemon fusions have been a popular concept for a long time. Fan art and generators for fused Pokemon were a phenomenon back in the early 2010s, and this eventually evolved into one of Pokemon's most popular fan games, Infinite Fusion. But what if fused Pokemon could be used competitively? This Pokemon Showdown mod aims to answer that question. Fusion Evolution is one of the coolest Showdown mods I've ever seen, with a vast pool of custom-made fused Pokemon to choose from, all with their very own sprites. Shout out to Aquatic Panic and ZXG for their excellent sprite work here. Some of these are hilarious, like Magnagiri, a fusion of Magnezone and Tatsugiri, or Maractorus Therian, with a name that speaks for itself. This one is honestly quite terrifying. Some Pokemon fusions have no right to work as well as they do. Baxgeist, a fusion of Baxcalibur and Gorgeist, is a dragon ghost type, and it is absolutely awesome. Deoxys/Speed is fantastic, a psychic ghost type Pokemon. And how can you not love the ground poison type Weezaluna Blood Moon? That is just outstanding. These fusion Pokemon are designed with care, each one aiming to be a flavorful combination of both of the Pokemon's most interesting traits. The result is a surprisingly good competitive metagame with a lot of fun options, and a pool of Pokemon that is always full of surprises. Let's take a look at some of the top tier and most metagame defining fused Pokemon in the Fusion Evolution Showdown mod. But first, don't forget to tune into my Furret-only Pokemon Showdown tournament, which will be streamed live on YouTube this Thursday the 5th of September at 8 PM EST. The tournament is open to everyone and is first come first serve entry on the day. Tune into the stream for information on how to join. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell to be notified when this goes live. This will be the event of the century, folks. Thank you. One of the funniest fused Pokemon in this format that is actually a top tier and really popular in tournaments is an unexpected fusion of Slitherwing and Klefki. Slither King. I would never think to fuse these two Pokemon, but they've gone and done it anyway, folks. Slither King has a rather unique design, with a bug steel typing. This is a famously great type combination, with only a single weakness to fire and myriad useful resistances. As with all of these fusions, Slither King has an ability that combines the effects of both of the Pokemon that were fused together to create it. The aptly named ability Opening Act combines the effects of Prankster and Photosynthesis into one. Photosynthesis is the ability of all past Paradox Pokemon, granting a stat boost to the Pokemon's highest stat if Sun is active, or if a booster energy is consumed. Prankster is one of the best abilities in the game, granting +1 priority to all non-attacking moves. Prankster does have some counterplay, as Dark types are completely immune to the effect of Prankster boosted moves, but the ability is still excellent regardless. Opening Act not only combines these two effects, it also adds another way to activate the Photosynthesis boost. If Slither King uses any priority move, the Photosynthesis boost will be activated. To offset the incredible advantages provided by this outstanding ability and typing, Slither King has rather modest stats. These stats are okay, but nothing spectacular. Despite unimpressive stats, this is one of the most effective utility Pokemon in the format. With the combined move pool of Klefki and Slitherwing at your disposal, you have useful options like U-turn to pivot, a priority boosted Will-O-Wisp, which is excellent, entry hazards like spikes, dual screens to support your team, and even priority boosted Morning Sun for healing. And every time you use one of these moves, you get that Photosynthesis boost to your highest stat, usually a defensive stat. This bug-shaped key abomination does not look as threatening as some of these other fusions, but savvy players will know to treat it with respect, because this top-tier Pokemon can get huge amounts of value if it's not responded to properly. This format seems to have a pattern where the goofy and non-threatening looking fusions are some of the most powerful. This is especially true of another top-tier threat, the fusion of Anorith and Anoraidon. Anoraidon. This little guy is an absolute force to be reckoned with. Despite being fused with a powerful legendary, this Pokemon has fairly balanced stats. Its offensive stats are good, but nothing insane, and its bulk is average. Anoraidon has a bug fighting typing, which is pretty good. We've seen this typing be successful on the Pokemon Heracross, and here it feels similar. Anoraidon is crucially neutral to rock, which helps it not get destroyed by stealth rock like other bug types. The coolest part of Anoraidon's design is definitely its ability, which combines the traits of Anorith and Koraidon creatively. Anorith has the ability Swift Swim, granting double speed in the rain. But this wouldn't really work when fused with Koraidon's Orichalcum Pulse, which creates sun on the field. So to fuse these two concepts, they gave Anoraidon the new ability Mercury Pulse. This has the same effect as Orichalcum Pulse, creating weather on the field and boosting the Pokemon's attack stat while that weather is active. But instead of creating sun, it creates rain. Anoraidon is this tier's premier rain setter, and it works very well in the role. Access to Stab U-turn is crucial, allowing you to pivot into rain abusers and get your gameplay plan moving. One of the best rain abusers in the game is Iron Meta, a bizarre combination of Iron Jugulus and Metagross. This guy is a steel flying type with the ability Light Drive, a fusion of Quark Drive and Light Metal. Your Quark Drive boost will activate if you are lighter than your opponent, which is an interesting way to combine these two effects. This Pokemon has a fantastic type combination and Stab Hurricane, making it a great teammate alongside Anoraidon. Anoraidon is a solid offensive threat itself, thanks to that Mercury Pulse attack boost and the excellent move pool of Koraidon to take advantage of. This is a natural choice Scarf user, and has such options as Knockoff, Close Combat for Stab, and even Rapid Spin thanks to that Anorith move pool, which is really useful utility. This is not only a great weather setter, but just an easy Pokemon to fit on teams with a lot to offer. The best fused Pokemon in this format is widely considered to be Soul Valiant, an insane looking combination of Absol and Iron Valiant. And it's pretty easy to understand why when you look at all of its great qualities. This is a Dark Fairy type Pokemon, which is a great type combination offensively and defensively. This thing has great offensive stats and 2 good offensive move pools to pick from. 130 base attack is fantastic, and base 100 speed is definitely good enough, especially with a Quark Drive boost at your disposal. Soul Valiant has the ability System Purge, an interesting combination of the abilities Justified and Quark Drive. Soul Valiant can activate their Quark Drive boost the normal way with Electric Terrain or a Booster Energy, or they can activate it if hit by a Dark type attack. This is taking the Justified effect and applying it to Quark Drive. And this is where things get a little insane, because like Absol, Soul Valiant can Mega Evolve into Mega Soul Valiant. Stay with me, folks. Mega Soul Valiant has way better stats and the ability Magic Bounce. So theoretically, you can come in on a Dark type attack, get the Quark Drive boost, and then Mega Evolve to gain Magic Bounce and absolutely destroy everything. If Iron Valiant in OU is anything to go off of, it's no surprise to see this Pokemon thrive to such an extent, with all of the same tools and more at its disposal. Another top tier Pokemon in this format is Bellykiss, a combination of Togekiss and Bellibolt. Now this one is crazy. This is an electric fairy type Pokemon, which is a great type combination, and this ability is an absolute mouthful, forgive me. Fortunomorphosis is the ability. Fortunomorphosis will activate the Laser Focus effect if you get hit by an attack. Laser Focus is an effect that guarantees a critical hit on your next move. I think this is one of the best ability designs in this format actually, really creatively combining Bellibolt's charge effect with Togekiss, who is known for Serene Grace, which increases the chance that secondary effects occur. So much of this metagame is unexplored, and there is a significant amount of variety seen in these tournament games. These designs are absolutely wonderful to look at and play around with. Tinkervish has a Dracovish based hammer. Isn't that just excellent? Amphimence is one of my favorites, a funny combination of Ampharos and Salamence. And take a good look here at Yveltox, a combination of Yveltal and Dustox. Who knew this combination could look so cool? This format is playable on the Dragon Heaven Pokemon Showdown client. I'll link that in the description, as well as the format's official Discord if you'd like to give it a go.